So Higurashi Sotsu will be coming out this July. Last week we were talking about it. It seemed pretty much confirmed. The information was there for a couple of days. The TV channel that this anime airs on had TV guide episodes for Higurashi GOU going all the way up to like episode 31. And then a day after, it was confirmed that that wasn't true, that it was some sort of misinformation. They removed it. People were starting conspiracy theories. We knew there was going to be more. The name Sotsu was previewed ever since like episode 2, but there was the what if, is it actually going to continue throughout the next season, or are we going to have to wait? And if we do have to wait, how long will be that wait? Well, Funimation, all the other streaming platforms, the official Twitter accounts have confirmed July of this year. And there's even a teaser video as well. If you go to Funimation's tweet confirming it, they did a little preview video looking rather intense. And I think, honestly, what a great way to end this part. And I'm not used to this because usually when you get what would typically be seen as like a split core, you get 12, 13 episodes, you wait a season, you get the next 12. GOU had 24 magnificent episodes, one season break, coming back for the next round. Is it going to be one core? Is it going to be two core, right? It doesn't matter. We're getting more. And as long as we had more, there'd be no issues with this episode no matter what they did. And what this episode did was it cleared a hell of a lot up with Takino, but most importantly, how different people were getting injected. Was it random? Was it fate? It turns out our girl Satoko decided to take matters into her own hands and make a world where she chooses what happens next. Where how many times, probably thousands and thousands and thousands, she repeated that padlock until she finally got it. And with that information, it allows her to inject whoever she wants. And because of that, that will allow her to make Rika suffer eventually to the point that she'll give up and just accept this. But we also know Rika is remembering now, so that's where the Sotsu kind of storyline is going to go really interesting. But it's so corrupt and twisted to see someone like Satoko really view this as a game. She has lost her marbles. She is saying, to me, all these other realities are just what-ifs and fragments. Whatever world I stop in is reality, so I don't care what I do. I'll do whatever it takes to survive. And that is horrifying. And I mean, honestly, I think this is probably a great place to stop it. I mean, last week threw us for a loop with everything happening with the uncle. Didn't see that coming. And this episode, for a while, I was wondering, what were they going to do to really solidify this being the final episode of GOU as we then wait for the sequel, right? Because even before the episode dropped, it was like 15 minutes before the episode dropped for like North American fans and other places outside Japan, it was confirmed, like, the internet exploded, new anime for Higurashi coming. And I was just like, sigh of relief, thank God. But still, how are they going to end it? And by clarifying so much about the mission that Takano was on, and there was still the misunderstanding of like what happened to the one injection, because I forget how many episodes, because now we've been focusing on Satoko. What was it, around episode 18 or something? We realized that there was one missing. There's the questions of how did that go missing? And now we realize Satoko knows the combination, so every time she loops, she can just inject whoever she wants and cause even more insanity. It's so interesting, and to see the backstory and the flashback about the grandfather and her and how this research was his life. People made a mockery of it, and she took it upon herself to carry on that legacy. And it wasn't until the good end, the good loop, that she found that letter and decided to live her life for herself, abandon the mission, and say, you know what, it's time for me to have a happy life. And then in comes Satoko and ruins Christmas dinner for everyone. What an incredible way to end this. I remember, before like seeing all this, not understanding the full clarity of what was happening, I used to see so many people like pick apart things like, why was this missing? In this case, it was the injection from the briefcase. Why did this person get chose? Why was this happening like this? And now seeing it from Satoko's perspective and seeing what led up to all of this insanity, knowing we still have so much more left to see, it just paints it into such a more interesting picture that when you rewatch GOU, it's going to be completely fresh again. It's one of those things where knowing the outcome of an anime season, it doesn't make it feel any less. Maybe after the second time you're starting to dwindle because now you see both perspectives. But when you're initially watching GOU for the first time, even if you suspect Satoko, you're not completely sure how she's doing certain things. But following Rika's perspective for 3/4 basically of this anime, and then the last chunk of it being from Satoko's, it's brilliant, and without a doubt I'm going to be rewatching GOU. Probably I'll rewatch GOU just before the sequel comes out here, just because obviously I want it to be as fresh as possible, but I think it's going to be so fascinating to rewatch this with Satoko's perspective in mind, and to see all the more clues, and to just see like so much clarification on arcs that we already were satisfied by, but now have so much more importance. And honestly, the injection and her knowing the combination, I think was the absolute best cliffhanger to end on, because it was the most frightening thing I think we've seen her do, and we've seen literal, like, intestines get ripped apart from people in this show. It's without doubt the goriest thing I've seen for a normal TV production, but I think the laughter and the kind of feels like if there was ever a switch to turn her back to a sane girl, that switch has been ripped off the wall and it's just on at this point. The insanity switch is on and there's no recovering it unless you reattach that switch somehow before getting a little snap slit to the throat. It's insanity, and I think, honestly, even if you were worried that the conclusion wasn't going to fit your interests, knowing that there's more coming, knowing that it's only a 3-month break, we're good. Truthfully, I think had Higurashi GOU not been pushed back as many times as it was due to COVID and everything, we probably would have had a longer wait than 3 months. I have a feeling, originally, this is obviously just speculation, but based on when this anime was originally supposed to air, I have a feeling that when GOU originally was supposed to end, when it was planned to end, there probably would have been at least 2, maybe even like 2 seasons, maybe even 3 or 4 seasons of a gap between GOU and its sequel. But because of all the delays, I think we're in this very interesting time period where the delays at first, they made you want to pull your hair out, but now because of them, we only have 3 months wait for the sequel of this amazing show. I am very excited. I felt bad last week because usually when it comes to any sort of like unofficial confirmation, I try not to bring it up in videos. I wait for official sites to list this stuff, but it looked like the TV Guide was right. There's no reason why they shouldn't. They're listing it. There's always the rumor for more anime. And then as soon as I realized, I changed the title, changed the description to the best of my ability. And I felt bad because I don't want to get people's hopes up. And I was crossing my fingers for them, not even me. Like, I got them all excited about more anime. I hope there is. And there is, and that's the best news I've heard in a long time surrounding anime. This was a great episode. It clarified a lot. I don't think there's much really more to say past that because it's all kind of self-explanatory and just putting into more pictures about the military and this final operation, which I thought made sense when we saw, but seeing the kind of build up to that and how the memories are starting to linger more in these other people, and how we have a character just so entertained by this crazy lunatic of a girl. This was an incredible finale, and I'm so excited for the sequel, and you know damn well I'll be reviewing it week after week. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. What did you think, and where do you think it's going to go in the sequel coming out in July, summer season of 2021? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you have been new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.